Good Wednesday morning. Wow, it's Wednesday morning. Wow, it is Wednesday morning. And look at that pretty Honda Africa Twin with those gold wheels. I just love to look at that Evel Knievel motorcycle. I think that's better than the Rocket. That would have been the better theme for the Evel Knievel, wouldn't it? Hey, good Wednesday morning there. Getting the day going. You know what I found? I found my really cool shirt that I bought last year that I took down to Florida with me, and I just dug it out of one of my Florida bags. And what a long night. Those dogs. Gypsy, she barks all night long. I mean, it's bad. I didn't sleep. I mean, this is like having a neighbor with the most obnoxious dogs in the world, and it's me. I mean, it's so bad. I mean, Gypsy and Prince, they just bark all night long. I mean, I have no idea what they're barking at, but it's like clockwork. So I don't know, man. This barn idea isn't going to last for me because it's just way too much noise. That's why these guys... Down. Stop that, Prince. Prince is so bad about jumping up on somebody. Okay, just stay right there. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Just stay there. Stay down. Stay down. You just stay down. Good boy. Yeah, between Gypsy. Nope, you stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Down. Good girl. Girl. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. They just, it just drives you nuts. So I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I guess I have to turn the radio on and just blast the radio all night long because it's really bad. It is so bad. And I think it's Gypsy. It sounds like Gypsy. It so sounds like Gypsy and Prince. So, wow, to say the least. So yeah, here's a bunch of shit right here. There. Come on, get away. It's so weird. And each dog, well, that's from these bones. So the bones are making them crap a whole different way. And even though they didn't eat, but they ate all his bones yesterday, it's still the crap show in the shop. Oh boy, everybody. Hey, welcome to my life. You pick up shit every day. People have shitty days. I pick up shit every day. Excuse the foul language, but you see what goes on at the Ice Age TV compound, and it's a lot of work, man. A lot of work having a lot of dogs. So it's just so piss, crap. And I put the Camaro out last night just to try to get it cleaned off, which the idea kind of worked if you think about it, somewhat. So over here in front of the office. Oh my gosh. And the bone thing, I mean, the bone idea, it's okay, but I mean, I don't think I'm going to do it every day because that's just, I mean, I don't disagree all the crap that they're putting in their body right in front of the office door. I just love it. It just doesn't end. Yeah, what are we going to talk today besides about about crap? A lot of videos yesterday. Put a lot of video content out there, and man, is there dog crap here too? I just can't believe it. I mean, these guys now are just all out doing little business here and there and everywhere. Everybody, yeah, you enjoying the video for the morning? Watching Iceman go around and pick up all the duty. Oh boy, it's always fun at Ice Age TV, right? It's interesting on my channel how what I say comes across in a different way. It just really is interesting how I say things, and I guess the way I say them, people take the conversation a different way, and so it just kind of befuddles me if people actually listen to what I'm saying, which I don't think everybody does because I talk too much. I mean, I talk a lot. I mean, a lot. Now, one thing's for sure for me that I'm figuring out me drinking vodka, those days are just gonna come to an end. Smoking cigars, not saying I wouldn't have something down the road, but right now it is so bad, so bad. Hey, don't do that, Diesel. Go outside and piss, you dummy. Why are you doing that? It just cracks me up on how these dogs have access to go outside, but yet they're still sitting here pissing all over the garage. Because they're not housebroken, that's why. They all need to be crated. Only downside for that for me is, if I crate them, then I'm definitely have to get out of bed much earlier in the morning to get them all out, because I can't see. I usually put these guys in about 9 o'clock at night, and I don't get back out here until usually close to 8:30. You know, it's close to a 12-hour run. So that means if I crate them, I'm going to have to get up earlier in the morning to just come let the dogs out. So which do you, it's the one thing, you get to not have to get out of bed early in the morning. The next thing is, I got to sit here and pick up dog crap and piss all day long. But anyways, there's no doubt for me, last night, I just had a Miller Light beer, and that's what I used to drink. Roger likes the bottle ones. I do too, but Costco doesn't offer the bottle ones. And of course, if you want to save money, you go to Costco. So I get the can ones, but I just started drinking Miller beer again just yesterday. Haven't drank it in years, but a huge, huge difference in my evening and going to bed and not hacking and coughing all night long. Huge. And I think having the fire go as well is really bad because it has so many fumes. I mean, when you have that fire going and I have that cap on that, it smokes the barn. You're just living in smoke. So it's just a double whammy of me drinking vodka and lemonade, and then having a cigar, and then hanging out with all the smoke from that fire. It just gets into my esophagus, just gets into your lungs, and then you're just, I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's so bad. So for the good news is, you sometimes wonder if you got a disease, you got cancer, you got something going on much more radical in your life. And I can honestly say that it's a change up of how you spend your evening is what can make a huge difference in how you feel, how much longer you're going to live. And isn't that the truth? That's a huge problem. That's the downside to life. When people get off work, what do? So in life, what do you do when you're off work? Are you exercising, or you bar hopping, or are you doing some good? I just can't stand people that sit out front of my house. This guy down here, it's like, that's just so bad that I just don't like it. The person's just sitting out front of my property, doing whatever they're doing. I mean, how do you feel when somebody pulls up in front of your driveway? Just, I got a long fence. How would you like somebody pulled up in front of your driveway and just parked there and sat there? You'd be like, what are you doing? What do you got going on? You're picking your nose, your ass? Are you flirting with your mistress? This is no lie. This is classic. So one of my neighbors here, Pete and Pam, and they were our great friends, next door neighbors up here. We used to, back in the late 90s, early 2000 years, they lived in this house. They used to live in that house right across the way over there, and they were a great couple around our same age. And we used to go out and party and have the greatest time. This is all before Julia came along. And so, it was classic, man. And the wife, Pam, she, in some ways, was a Karen. It was just, oh my God, her way or the highway. And so, I'll never forget, they went out and bought a brand new Land Rover, what is it, the LR4, that really ugly, boxy ass looking Land Rover. And so now, Pete, he was borderline alcoholic. He was a big Visa guy that made a ton of money with Visa. And I'll never forget this day, coming back in home, where's the guy going? There he is. So, I never forget coming back home, nope, you're not going in, because you're all wet. No. You're not coming in. No. Nope. No. No. You can go out. Go on. Go on. Go on out. Go on. Go on. No. Ay, damn it. All right. Let's get back. Let's get back outside here. Man, it's kind of warmed up actually. Kind of. There's Diesel getting his run back. Slowly but surely. And there's Princey boy. Yeah, the good old hacking and coughing. Yeah, it gets deep. Out of the lifestyle, you kill yourself in all reality. Who doesn't know that? So back to the Pete and Pam conversation. It was classic. It was classic. I mean, Pam, she was such a dominating lady. Oh my gosh. I don't know how that guy didn't go kill himself in all reality. And so, jeez. So I was coming back in one day from work over the hill here, and I'll never forget seeing Pete pulled over on the side of the road. And it's just kind of like weird. I'm like, what the hell is he doing pulled over the side of the road in his Land Rover? And that car was so ugly that it stood out like a sore thumb. And I'll never forget Pam going, you should buy one of these. Are you kidding me? Come on, let's go. There's the rooster, everybody. The Rooster Adventures. I think everything's perfect for the greenhouse. Come on, get on in. Come on, let's go. Guys, hungry? Come on, let's go. Oh, that's classy. Yeah, so Pete was in his car, and unbeknownst to me, I come to find out later through Stephanie, the secret conversations between the ladies, Pete has been fooling around on Pam. Come on, let's go. Prince, come on, let's go, come on. And so apparently, Pete had sex with this woman in that vehicle, and after he did that, Pam could smell the vehicle from him having his fun in the car. I mean, no lie. She found the evidence. Oh my God. So she demanded, borderline getting a divorce, but they both were married before and remarried. So they both have already had a marriage, kids, and then remarried. And so they had to sell the Land Rover. Pam was so pissed off. She was just furious. I'm surprised they didn't get a divorce. Yeah, he was a raging alcoholic in so many ways. Every time we took him out to dinner, he was just already reeked of alcohol. So, yeah, why do people, resort to drinking to escape the world you live in? But the reality is, it's you. It's still you when you recover. Come on, Scout. Scout, come on in here. Come on, Scout. Scout wants his little treat. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Aw, poor little Scouty. Poor little Scouty. Look at Rebel. Today, I have my eye doctor appointment to get new glasses. And I go back to Costco. Somebody on my subscriber base, I guess, is a Costco employee because the person's watching my videos yesterday, and they're giving me a heads up that that fan I was looking at yesterday is going to be $15 off today, and they're telling me a really nice DeWalt or some type of vacuum. Anyways, it was kind of entertaining. And somebody watched my video yesterday going to Costco, and in that video, the person's reaching out saying, hey man, when you go back tomorrow, you will get a better deal. Wow, these guys are hungry. Hey, no. So, as you can see, the less eating, with eating the bones, I wouldn't come to closure. Eating the bones, and there's another pile back there. So, I think there is. I can't really tell. So, these guys are actually very hungry. Where's my last bowl? Here it is. No, hey, Hey, Rebel, don't do that. Rebel, don't do that. Chill out. Hey, Rebel. Rebel. I'm going to smack your ass. Yeah, Rebel. Leave him alone. No. Nope. No, I'm going to follow your ass around. I know what you're doing. Go get your own food. Yeah, where the hell did I put my coffee? I can't keep track of this stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm doing. So, here it is. So anyway, so that's pretty cool on the conversation. But, you know, Gail's been interacting. Gail likes to get involved in the comments. So I'll keep the Gail conversation going. So I was telling Gail last night that she thinks that my dad wants to live up here full time. No. My dad moved away 35 years ago from living here. So he doesn't have, like, there's nothing here for him. And my father has been very active in the Church of Christ down there where he lives for 35 years. He's the president and the elder. So, and he has so many relationships in Florida, there would be no reason for my father to benefit living up here with me. It wouldn't work. And so, I appreciate Gail being concerned with my father's well-being and thinking that he's dying to live up here. No, he would like to come up and spend some time here with us, which we're going to do. But as far as him relocating to here, it would make no sense to do that because my brother and father are very close. We realize or not, my brother and father are probably more closer than I am because my brother goes over to my dad's house like every day of his life. I've always been very concerned when my father passes one day, what's my brother going to do? Because my mother and father have been the punching bag his whole life where he goes to the house and takes out his aggravation for the day of what's going on. So for my father and brother, they're very close and very tight, and that relationship works for them most of the time, right, Dad? He'll laugh at that comment. And so then my sisters are down there, and so there's no way. It's just, once again, it wouldn't be a desirable environment, and my dad would not do very well in the cold weather. I mean, he would probably get very sick. So once you're a Floridian and you've been there 35 years, I can't see you moving back up north. So once again, Gail, appreciate your concerns, my father. And I don't know, once again, I said it earlier, what I say no, Rebel. What I said earlier, you know, is what is the communication? What's the message when I talk about things and what comes through versus what doesn't? What I was thinking about this morning was, it's incredible how the focal point of the new administration is all about the tariffs, all about illegal immigration, all about blah, 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 blah. We just saw the Saudis want to invest $1 trillion into our country. Elon Musk was right there in Saudi Arabia, I'm sure, trying to finagle business deals as well, which, whatever, if it isn't him, be somebody else, everybody. And so, oh wow, so if I got this thing fully charged, I went from charging on that to then putting it here, and it finally charged all the way. So that's good news. Bob doesn't have to go and spend money for a new battery. And so anyways, whole point is, you know, this administration's all focused on the golden age, you know, blah, 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 rolling back all the green agenda propaganda. But I thought to myself this morning, because I was reading a bunch of articles in General Motors. General Motors is bringing in some pretty high talent people in their organization. And the focal point of General Motors is really the artificial intelligence and the driverless vehicles, but not as strong as Tesla, because a guy by the name of Sterling Anderson is a new hiree executive at GM, VP Operations, that's going to be very heavily involved in the advancement of level 4 self-driving capability. He comes from a company called Aura Trucking Company that's already out there, like in Texas, that's running trucks up and down the road that are driverless trucks. I mean, period. There's no drivers in these trucks, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that, but they're level 4 technology, and he is an MIT master's graduate, PhD, and he actually started his own company with using all this technology on his own. And so he's a very smart, bright man that General Motors has brought on board to help advance their Super Cruise technology. And so for General Motors, their focal point right now is definitely having the capability of driverless vehicles, because of bringing the talent in, and he worked for Tesla as well. So he's a very well-known, astute individual in the automotive world. But then also General Motors is aggressively trying to refine the battery packs in their cars, especially the Silverado, to make them more efficient on energy and more affordable. And they have now partnered up with LG. They partnered up with LG Electronics years ago, but LG has apparently, with GM, mastered the new lithium manganese-rich battery. And apparently this new lithium manganese technology doesn't require nickel. Nickel apparently is one of the key ingredients in all these batteries, lithium phosphate batteries, cobalt. I'm trying to think of the other key ingredients that are very expensive elements and minerals that are required to build these batteries. But apparently GM now has mastered a better way to build an electric battery that's 33% more efficient, and it's much smaller. So they say that the same amount of energy and amount of distance you can go with these battery packs, where like the lithium phosphate battery pack would be like 24 cells, this only requires like 3. Or like 24 battery packs, this only requires 3. So the weight savings and the money, and what they're saying also is that right now the ICE age to EV age is about a $20,000 spread on the truck side for you to buy a electric vehicle versus ICE vehicle. But what made me think about was Jim Farley. I got to thinking to myself, that Jim Farley, it's incredible how that guy was pounding his fist back in 2022, 2023, after Joe Biden, I think in November of 2022, signed the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act. And I think that for him, I'm trying to see here some hats. Got to change up my hat style, because I got the, what did I do with my nice new Honda hat that I had, everybody? I had a really cool gold winning hat, and I need to change that out to get a new look because of my, let's see if this thing even fits me. It does. My whole collection of hats. I like to have. I'm a hat guy. I just like to have hats because I just like hats. It protects my head, keeps out of the sun, and it makes me not look as old, because you can't tell I don't have any hair. That's a big difference on the way you look when you have hair versus you don't have hair. Just like if I had black hair versus gray hair. Look at Tom Cruise. You see the pictures of Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise, I think, is about the same age as me. Does that guy look like he's in his 40s? I mean, you look at how you age in life. I don't think of Tom Cruise like, oh my gosh. I mean, my daughter's very nice. She's always saying, you don't look the age you are, but whatever. I appreciate the thoughts. But the thing is, Tom Cruise, that guy looks, I guarantee you, 20 years younger than I do. But he has all the money probably to make it so he can look 20 years younger. But it's his lifestyle. That guy's in excellent shape. I don't think that guy's out smoking dope and partying his ass off every night. That stuff wears you out, man. That stuff just starts to age you big time. Smoking, drinking. It's a known fact. So then I saw Jim Farley. Incredible how Jim Farley was so riled up of everything's going electric. Does anybody remember this? Does everybody remember that Jim Farley was just jumping up and down about Joe Biden's idea of everybody's having an electric vehicle? They're going to transform their whole production to all electric vehicles. And then the same thing for General Motors. Now, what's interesting here is Toyota, the grandson of the founder of Toyota, I think his name was, he was so against this rapid expansion of so-called electric vehicles that eventually he had to step down. because Toyota was getting hammered by the Green Agenda activists. Now, it's incredible. I have so much content on my channel of this talk that I'm talking about. So if you ever looked at my channel and you went through all the videos from years ago, I spent a lot of time talking about all this electric vehicle and all about the hogwash that was going with it, and a lot of resistance to the big CEOs, even Carlos Tavares of Stellantis. You know, all these guys were totally just not on board of converting everything to electric, and they got run out of town. Toyota guy was literally, in so many ways, forced to resign because his vision wasn't matching with the Green Agenda's vision, so he eventually stepped down. He was kind of at the age too, but he could have kept on going. And with Carlos Tavares, who the hell knows what happened to that guy? That guy raised all the prices on all the damn cars and made everything too expensive like everybody else. So the whole point is, it's incredible. Just really 2 years ago, go to 2023, the whole talk of town was all about we're going to electric vehicles like never ever seen before, building out infrastructure like never ever seen before. Everybody needs electric vehicle. It's going to save the world, blah, 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 blah. But now Antarctica, we're seeing that the so-called global warming isn't happening like it is. So the so-called carbon footprint that's created by all these ICE vehicles, is it really doing what everybody, not everybody, but what the select agenda, the select whack jobs claim it to be doing? And I think most people have been sitting on the sidelines eating their popcorn saying, yeah, you know, here we go. The guy that knows everything, that knows nothing in the end. Isn't that the damn truth? More than ever in our society. But what to me, I talk about so many times is the electric agenda made everything so expensive. Everything's so expensive. And I know people think I'm beating up Trump. And here's the thing. I just like to talk off the tip of my tongue. And for Trump, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Trump's got good ideas. I think Trump wants to make things better. But at the same time, you know, what you want, what you get are two different things. And so just like a lot of people are saying, for the China arguing back and forth, at the end of the day, really what's been accomplished over that? I don't know. In all sincereness, I'm just not really following it that detail to detail. And can Trump keep the GOP on the upside so that the ice age stays on the upside, and the next round of elections, all the whack jobs get back in power, if you want to call them that, or all the agenda, all the agenda people that think that we need to transform the world of what it is and how we live, comes back into power, and then all of Trump's ideas get kicked to the curb, just like what Trump did to Biden. So it's up and down the mountain, up and down the mountain. You know as well as I do, if a GOP guy doesn't keep hold of what's going on, the next round, the guy that comes into office, you'll see all these key people that have been nominated by Trump all disappear from their positions. Tell you one guy I guarantee is going to be running for president, and I bet you Donald Trump supports him, is Marco Rubio. So I bet you, remember this conversation, I think Marco Rubio is in the making for the next president. And what's really interesting about Marco Rubio, I always notice about this guy, Marco Rubio always smiled. And when he's on TV, he was always smiling. And Trump tarnished him back in 2016 in the primaries, or 2015. He tarnished Marco Rubio. So Marco Rubio always smiled. If you look at Marco Rubio now, this is his look. He's very much stern, much more like, so he's changed his whole facial expression of how he presents himself, because he used to look like this jolly good old fellow, laugh, ha ha ha, is this guy serious? Now, somebody in the backside of him is tapped on the shoulder and said, you don't have the look, man. You don't have the right look. You have to have that Donald Trump look where you have that frown on your face like, this is what we're going to do. So I think Marco Rubio will probably be one of the guys running. J.D. Vance, I don't know. I don't think he has the right posture, personality. running for president. I'm sure he'll probably try to run for president. Do they give J.D. Vance the automatic position? And I don't know how that all play out. Kind of like with Joe Biden, they automatically gave Kamala Harris the position without ever having the Democratic Party, DNC, have primaries to see who would maybe be the better personality to play the game. I'd be willing to bet Gavin Newsom jumps in the game this round, because Gavin Newsom is starting to kind of walk back the radical Democratic Party views and ideas somewhat. And I think that guy's going to be a trickster where he's going to start to kind of try to appease to a more conservative base to a degree. Not a lot, but I think he's going to kind of start pulling back on the radical Democratic Party, maybe start calling them out so that maybe he has a foothold for some people in the middle of the road that would buy into his personality, that he's changed some, and he's going to be the better pick for DNC. But we're not, the reality is we're only about 2 years away from all this already playing out. So you go to 2027, you're already going to be into, 2027 is already going to be into the whole race for the presidency again, which is just crazy. Because 2028 will be election year. Is that right or wrong? So, I mean, wow, it's just time goes by so quickly. And even though Trump is only in his first, X amount of months of presidency, and where are we going? Everybody's saying everything less expensive. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, okay, we shall see. 'Cause I think most people, more than ever right now, would like to see things come down. Just would like to see everything come down in pricing and be more affordable. I really think that's where most people's thought process is right now, is when do we get the break and when do the pricing and everything start coming back down where instead of everything being so expensive. But that's it. I kind of got a late start this morning, and I just like to keep the channel going. Appreciate all the comments and support, and just try to throw out things, ideas of the day. But you have to say to yourself, what's happened to the EV age? I mean, all the hype, all the talk, all the media crap. I mean, blah, 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 blah. And it's all been toned down because the reality is, for the new administration, they're just not going to hand out the wads of money for the so-called Save Mother Nature Earth by everybody participating and taking the taxpayers' monies to so-called make something different that'll save the world. And I think a lot of people just don't buy into it. And it's more of a money grab and the gig than it actually is the real deal. And what's very interesting, too, is it seems like Elon Musk has gone awful quiet. He's already been replaced. So he's getting ready to exit out of that Doge. But he's gotten awful quiet. And I really think he's in opposing views of what Trump has been doing with the tariffs. I really do feel strongly that Elon Musk is really, in some ways, disappointed on how Trump, he's just not saying much. But you heard Warren Buffett, he's not supporting this, the agenda that Trump is trying to create of make America the only one and the biggest one. So, but that's it. So I hope everybody has a great day. Stay tuned for more adventures on Ice Age TV, and God bless and have a great day.